Ever wondered how to make your life easier in the kitchen? Well, we're here to help with some quick kitchen hacks that are sure to save you time and effort. Let's dive in. First up, we have a nifty trick for freezing sauces and juices. You know those instances when you only need a small amount of sauce or juice and don't want to defrost the whole container? Here's a solution. Pour the sauce or juice into ice cube trays and pop them into the freezer. This way, you can easily break off a frozen cube or two and use them as needed. It's a great way to reduce waste and make your cooking process more efficient. Next, let's talk about butter. We've all been there. You're in the middle of baking and you realize you need melted butter. But waiting for a whole stick to melt can feel like forever, right? Here's a quick fix. Place the butter in a microwave-safe cup and heat it for a few seconds until it melts. You can also use a microwave oven for this purpose. Remember, the key is to heat it just enough to melt, not to boil. Cleaning fruits and vegetables is another task that can take up more time than you'd like. To clean them quickly, place them in a bowl filled with water and add a teaspoon of apple cider vinegar. Let them sit for 5 to 10 minutes, then rinse thoroughly with regular water. The vinegar helps to remove dirt and agricultural chemicals, making your produce safer to consume. And who knew citrus peels could be so versatile? Dry out lemon or orange peels in a low oven until they become hard and brittle. Then grind them up in a coffee grinder to create dried citrus peel powder. This can be used in desserts or dishes to add a delightful citrusy flavor. These were just a couple of simple tricks that can save you time and effort in the kitchen. Stay tuned for more efficient ways of food preparation and storage in the next segment. Moving on to some clever ways to prepare and store food. Let's begin with a quick and efficient way to clean fruits and vegetables. Simply place your produce in a bowl filled with water and add a small spoonful of apple cider vinegar. Let them soak for 5 to 10 minutes, then rinse thoroughly with regular water. This vinegar solution helps remove dirt and agricultural chemicals. Next, let's talk about citrus peels. Instead of discarding lemon or orange peels, dry them in a low oven until they become hard and brittle. Grind these dried peels in a coffee grinder to create a citrusy powder that can be used to flavor desserts or dishes. Now, on to herbs. Fresh herbs can be a wonderful addition to meals, but they can wilt quickly. To keep them fresh for longer, wash and thoroughly dry them, then place in food bags and store in the freezer. This way you can enjoy fresh herbs anytime without wasting any. Lastly, let's touch on food leftovers. Instead of throwing away leftover vegetables or meat, repurpose them into other recipes. For example, leftover vegetables can be used to make a hearty soup, or leftover meat can be transformed into a new meal like tacos. This not only reduces food waste but also saves money. As for eggs, if you're unsure about their freshness, here's a simple test. Place the egg in a bowl filled with water. If it sinks to the bottom, it's fresh. If it floats on the surface, it's old and should be discarded. When it comes to herbs, if you want to store them for a longer period, consider drying them. Place washed and dried herbs in a paper bag and hang them in a dry, dark place for several weeks. Afterwards, crumble them and store in an airtight container. Finally, don't discard potato peels. Roast them in the oven with a little oil and spices to make crispy potato chips. You can also use the roasted peels as a seasoning for meals or as an ingredient in salads. These hacks not only help you make the most of your ingredients, but also reduce waste and save money. Now let's talk about how to check the freshness of your food and make the most of your leftovers. Ever wondered if your eggs are still good? Try the egg freshness test. Simply place the egg in a bowl of water. If it sinks, it's fresh. If it floats, it's time to throw it out. When you've got fresh herbs, don't let them wilt. Dry them out instead. Just rinse, pat dry, and hang them in a paper bag in a cool, dark place. In a few weeks, you'll have dried herbs ready for your spice rack. Don't toss those potato peels either. Roast them with a little oil and seasoning for a crispy snack. And if you're struggling with bananas ripening too quickly, just slice them up and freeze them for later use in smoothies or desserts. And there you have it. A collection of practical kitchen hacks that can make your life easier and your cooking experience more enjoyable. Before we wrap up, let's do a quick recap of all the kitchen hacks we've shared today. We've talked about freezing sauces and juices for easier use, quickly melting butter, efficiently cleaning fruits and vegetables, and using citrus peels for added flavor. We've also discussed how to freeze fresh herbs, reuse food scraps, test egg freshness, dry herbs, use potato peels, and store bananas. We hope these kitchen hacks help you save time, reduce waste, and enjoy your time in the kitchen. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more useful tips and tricks. Until next time, happy cooking.